me ask you this, because I'm trying to understand. I've always thought of you as a guy that just believed in free markets and capitalism, and somehow I'm trying to understand where you got caught up in this Obama mania, because honestly, because it doesn't translate for me, and because where has socialism ever worked, Jim? It has never worked. It's always failed.
But remember, to invoke certain people, I'm a Rendell Democrat is the way I look at it. Rendell's created a lot of jobs in Pennsylvania. One of the best balanced budgets, has really been pro-business. At the same time, does not favor higher taxes. There is a paradigm that I thought this man belonged to. See, I didn't think I was getting this Obama. I thought I was getting a moderate Democrat Obama that would really be good at re-energizing the economy and perhaps creating a spirit in the country of contribution and a belief that the country can be great again. I bought that. I want that guy. I voted for him. I deserve him.
Well, you deserve him. Thanks a lot. But listen, first of all, I appreciate your honest admission here, because if you even look at David Gergen, David Brooks, even Maureen Dowd, who would have thought this? But you see that a lot of people that had sort of fallen prey to the "Yes, we can" chanting and the prompter reading of the Anointed One, are now changing their minds on this. But look, are you really convinced? And I hope the answer is no. You're really convinced this is going to be a depression?
Well, I think it could be. It could still be avoided if Geithner develops a plan. The Treasury Secretary, he's been noticeably absent from developing something that makes us feel confident. I think that it could still be averted if Obama comes out and says, you know what, these tax increases, I was gung-ho about it. It's not making sense. It's causing America to be frozen. The mortgage deduction, I'm not going to do that. We will put all these things on hold, because I see the thing is to put people to work. Then we will avert it. But otherwise, it does feel a little collision course as I look at my stock screen.
Look, we see they're pulling back on the mortgage deduction. I saw that. Charitable contributions, I saw that. But, Jim, that's minuscule compared to, him, doubling down on nationalizing health care today. That's minuscule compared to the $1.3 trillion stimulus on top of TARP 1, TARP 2, now a $410 billion omnibus bill with 9,000 earmarks. These guys have zero discipline in their lives. If they were the head of a corporation, they'd be in jail right now just based on bankrupting Social Security.
Well, I do believe that many of the health care issues that he wants, the cap and trade, these are in principle, they're a good idea. I favor health care for everybody. I certainly am not a greenhouse gas guy. I understand the problems of coal. But these are things that you don't do when you don't attack industries that we're trying to hire. The drug industry, the health care industry, these hire people. The coal industry. Today, the attack on the oil and gas industry, that's one of the industries that was truly hiring people. You give the American people some breathing room here. Right now, I feel like everybody's under attack except for
except for them.
Unions.
Yeah, well, so Dick Morris, he says it's a war on prosperity. Pat Buchanan says socialism is here. McCain calls this generational theft. And every economist that I think is worth their salt is predicting high unemployment. We'll find out tomorrow. And inflation through the roof, leading to stagflation and slower economic growth. And these rosy projections are going to go out the window probably in 48 hours.
Well, I'll tell you, because I am in the end a stock guy, let me tell you what I tell you. CDs, because I still believe in the FDIC, and gold. I've never recommended gold. These are things, cash and gold. You've known me for 20 years. Did I ever talk about that?
I've been building up a gold portfolio, by the way, for you thieves out there, not in my house. But I have for years. I just always felt that. But, what do we think? What does the average American think? That, look, Jim, we don't follow this stuff like you do.
Well, the average American doesn't want to open that envelope at the end of the month with the 401k. The average American is in fear right now. And the average American was hoping that his house or her house would stop depreciating, that the portfolio would stop depreciating, and that the president would create an atmosphere where we could get moving again. Now, it turns out that we have to be living in China to have that done. The communist Chinese are really on the ball. Their stimulus package is just a complete and utter job creator. When do the communists have more of an edge on the capitalists?
And they're building their military up. Did you see that? The Chinese going up 15%. Now, so the FDIC is on the verge of insolvency within a year, and you're not worried about the banks. There was a Fox
News poll. I'm very worried about the banks. Thanks. But I do believe in Sheila Bair. I think she's a very good FDIC chairwoman, and I'm not going to give up on her. I think she's doing her best, and I really want to emphasize.
Well, could America go bankrupt?
No. We're too great a country. That will not happen. States will not go bankrupt either. They never have. There are certain parts of this economy and our great country that will not fail us. But I do believe that we are headed toward a precipice that it can be avoided. It can be avoided. That's what's so monumentally sad about it.
Yeah, it really can. Well, listen, now that you're on the enemies list, when I get my tax audit and you get yours and Rush gets his, we all ought to go public. Do you realize
I'm not going to New Zealand. I'm fighting it right here.
No, I know that. But you're a fighter, and I love that about you. But, the funny thing is everybody on my staff, I have to use an alias on the air because they know that the Obama team's coming after me.
Oh.
Can you believe that?
No. Well, you know what? You're a spokesperson for millions of people. And this is a great country, and I think that what they ought to do is, instead of tuning you out, listen, take some of your ideas, meld it into a consensus program that puts people to work and doesn't make people fear to go outside, and put the tax increases on hold until we're a rich country again.
All right, last question. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
Actually, I broke my rule today, and I had a large Triple Venti cappuccino with skim because the Dunkin' Donuts wasn't open.
Can I tell you something? I've watched you, and I'm like, you make me nervous. And you're telling me this is not caffeine?
No, it's not. Hey, listen, I'm a 5-bottle-of-water guy.
Oh, well, listen, Jim, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate it. And don't back down from these guys. Don't back down.
Never. Thank you.
All right, God bless. Appreciate it. Jim Cramer on Hannity right here. We have